There were over 60, I believe, credit or media credentials.
Were there?
Yes. Yeah, I heard that too.
I mean, and the fans were lined up. I thought it was pretty cool, lined up before the game and excited to get in there. And I just, it's interesting, Jimmy, that we talk about teams moving and having this metroplex that we have of close to 5.5 million people, and to see a pro franchise who've been near to us since 1995, 1996 season that have had the success at times, but all the ups and just the minutia, the dark cloud, the last 12 years that we've had to follow.
So in the last, I'll say 30 minutes or so, it did become official by the NHL that the board approved the move. And there's a quote in here that I'd love to get you guys' take on, because I agree with Commissioner Gary Bettman and the National Hockey League that it is simply unfair to continue to have players, coaches, hockey front office, and the NHL teams they compete against spend several more years playing in an arena that is not suited for NHL hockey. Do you have any idea who said that?
I'll say.
Who do you guess is saying that?
I'm just going to guess it's Bettman.
Okay.
Man, oh man.
Because I mean, he backed them all of these years. He loved coming to the desert.
Okay.
He was in their
Manuch?
corner, but I think he's being honest.
I'll say the
You
owner.
can agree with him.
I'll say the owner, Alex Morello.
It was Alex Morello.
Wow.
He also went on to say, but this is not the end for NHL hockey in Arizona. I have negotiated the right to reactivate the team within the next 5 years and have retained ownership of the beloved Coyotes name, brand, and logo. I remain committed to this community and to build a first-class sports arena and entertainment district without seeking financial support from the public. Close quote.
Okay, so here's my thought on that. I will believe it when I see it.
That's fair.
And I think June 27th, when he buys that property,
If
he does, and he's the winning bid, okay, there's step one. I think there's 4 steps that he's got to prove to hockey fans in the Valley, me and you and all the other, fans. All right, move forward. Go build your stadium. Go do what you got to do.
Okay, that's one.
That's one. I think number 2 is the commitment to, okay, the next thing we're going to do is once we start building, we're going to start selling season tickets initially. Maybe in 3 or 4 years.
That's normal.
Okay.
2
or
3.
All right, number 3, it's just to make sure that foundation, that as far as are there other partners going to be involved or not? If there are other partners, I'm going to be a heads up on that one too. If he needs to get them, so be it.
All right, last one.
And I think number 4, first and foremost, is he going to get the cooperation of the city, the adjoining city in Scottsdale, to make sure that everybody is on the same page to go make this happen with his money.
I think what's going to happen, though, he's trying to save face as he leaves the city.
That's my point.
His ass is out of here.
Yep.
I agree.
I don't care what he says. You can throw that June 27th deal out there. But let's just say this happens. He goes ahead and he bids. He's outbid. Then everyone's going to say, or he can at least say, hey, I tried.
Yeah.
I've tried Tempe. I tried Phoenix, Scottsdale. It didn't work. Hey, I love this community, but obviously I couldn't make it work. It's time for me to take my $600 million and go elsewhere.
He's a liar.
Well, and
if that's the case,
I know, but
we're speculating. I think we're all on this. I went from basically tears last night to being pissed off.
Yeah,
sure.
To even more emotion this morning, rewatching this and listening to Tyson Nash and Todd Walsh and these different broadcasters and watching these players and talking to my neighbor who worked for him for 20 plus years and just saying, hey, we're just talking heads on the radio, but we've made a living covering the Coyotes over the years. We've been part of the process of the bankruptcies and all these different owners and bringing on Greg Jameson to bringing on not Alex Morello, any of those owners at the time. Barraway, and all the guys before him, Andrew LeBlanc and all those guys, trying to do what we can to support, because there's so many naysayers in this marketplace. I would love to pull back the talking heads of 7-8 years ago, well, probably 10 years, when it really hit the fan, and say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, what's your thoughts now? You got what you wanted. They're out. Mm-hmm. We're now a 3-team city with 6 million people.
And that's what I said, Rock. If he does go and purchase it and it gets bid up, he does everything he can to get that property. Okay, like I said, there's step 1. All right. No,
yeah, but that's the biggest step. But I think the other steps are easy.
Well, yeah, they are. But I mean, the key is purchasing the property.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
But now, what does he do with the property? Okay, I'd be watching that from a commercial real estate background. It's okay. Are you committed to the renderings? Are you moving forward? Are you going to put shovels in the dirt a year from, let's say, 6 to 8 months, a year from winning the bid? I mean, there's steps that I think that Joe Q. Public can figure out and go whether he's dissing us or he's committed to making this thing work.
This is the way that I view it. I think he's lying. I think Rock is correct. He's trying to save face.
Yep.
And this is the way I think it plays out. He may make a bid on that property and most likely then will get outbid and let it go. So then what he'll do is he will say he maintains the name, all of that. When a new owner is found and wants to come in, he'll then sell the rights to the Coyotes name, etc., to that new owner and make even more money.
Yeah, he's going to double dip.
There you go.
Sure.
Exactly.
And,
that's the way
let's be honest. Let's take our job out of this and being a fan, being a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. He's a businessman.
I would do the same thing.
Oh, sure you would.
Yeah.
Because I could take that money
Yeah.
and buy another team somewhere else.
Mhm.
If I need that fix of owning a professional sports franchise, then I could go somewhere else. And you can leave this place if he doesn't get that bid, he can say, "Hey, I tried.
Yeah.
I really did." And he's going to walk away with all kinds of money. That's what he does.
Yes.
Well, and
I mean, you can't. I mean, I know there's politics involved in everything, but you can't penalize a guy. It's not for wanting to make money.
Well,
and-
I'm not penalizing him. I just think he's a liar.
And one last thing, if he makes $1 billion and he's got to pay $1 billion to get the new franchise, plus another $800 million to build a stadium, all of a sudden he's given the $1 billion back and he's out of pocket another $1 billion. And to be in that business, man, why would you do that? Because you're going to be out of. How long will it take you to recoup?
That's what I'm saying.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
This guy is walking away with $500 million, let's just say,
Profit
easy
after all his expenses and what he did to mullet and
Probably.
everything.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of businesses you can turn around in 3 years
Yeah.
and make that kind of money. You got to give him all the credit in the world.
I do.
I mean, and I bet he looks at this business model and say, "Man, I got to stick to the casino business."
Yep.
Because he makes so much money in that business and these developments. I really think, honestly, I hope I'm wrong, but I think clearly 90% of people I talk to don't want him to be the owner anyway.
I don't think the NHL wants him to be the owner.
I don't either.
Yeah.
He's not part of that group.
Right.
I mean, the fact that, like you said, he was a no-show yesterday, he's a coward.
Yes.
Yeah, Alex, you're a coward.
Yes.
You should have
Horrible.
not stand behind a pen or, an email, a press release, and he should have been out there. He should have got on the microphone at the end and said, thank you.
Yes.
And
thank you. I made $500 million because of you.
Yeah.
But thank you.
And said what he came out with today and said, look, this is my, but he doesn't be accountable to his statement. Right?
Even his son, Junior, who's really running the program, who I think is in his mid-20s, who is more into freaking fashion than he is a hockey team. And he should have came out. He should have freaking came out and said something.
Somebody from that family.
It doesn't have to be Gutierrez on everything. Let's have ownership. Hey, it's Thursday. We are broadcasting live from the Twin Peaks at Deer Valley. This is the newest. You can take advantage of the 29-degree man-sized drafts. They're here all the time. But coming up, you will hear from some of the long-time broadcasters of the Coyotes, and we'll